arcs in Bleach, and I'm going to be explaining why I think it's the best one in the whole series of Bleach, and also one of the best in all anime shows, period. Because it's very unique and how it was created and made with these characters. The Espada, they have personalities, they cry, you know, they have emotions. Um, their abilities are based on the aspects of death, which so each one is different in its own way. There is a total of 9 of them, but they're ranked differently in power. And as you can see on the bottom half of this picture, they have a different kind of form, which we will get into more about later, but it shows exactly how powerful they can get when they get into that form. So this is it says up to 10, but technically 10 it doesn't really exist, because when he releases, he becomes 0. So it's really 0 through 9. So it's kind of misleading, but that's how they originally created it. But then to get into the show, it's 0 because of his power. These are the 5 to 9 range, which they aren't as powerful as the ones go down. So as you get lower in the numbers, they're more powerful. These guys aren't even in the release form, but they can still kill a captain by itself from the Soul Reapers, which is their Shinigami rivals. So they're solo, it could still cause a big difference. Now these ones are some of the ones from 0 to 4. These 3 especially are very deadly. It's going to take more than just 1 or 2 captains to beat them. Even then, it's still going to be very difficult in battle to even overcome, because they are very, their skill set. And this is Sosuke Aizen. He is the leader of the Espada. He came from the Soul Reaper Society, but he took the thing in the middle, which is the Hogyoku, from them, and then made the Espadas from the Hollows. So he's a top guy, and this is his final form in the show. Now, forms. Like I said earlier, I'll get into it. When they first start a battle, they usually look like the Minatori does on the left. Then after he releases his weapon, he turns into that, which each release form is different, and it's going to have different abilities with it and power. This is the most unique Espada out of all of them, and there's a big debate about him because he has 2 release forms. No other Espada has that, because he only uses it when he absolutely wants to, and Yukiora is aspect of death, is emptiness. He has no feelings, really. He doesn't care. So, if you're the enemy, basically that's it. Grimjow. He's the other Espada that has a very unique release form. He has only 1, but it immensely upgrades his speed, his power. Just from howling, he can do damage and destroy things. Just to show how much power this guy absolutely has. And he fights Ichigo twice. Ichigo is on this list with the Espadas only because when he gets to Hueco, the homeland of the Espada, he turns into the thing on the bottom, which is Vasilorde. So he gets a form like an Espada from releasing. But then again, these 2 teams, they're pretty equally matched. We're going into how the Vizards are different than the Espadas. They both wear masks because they have different forms, but the ones on the left, the Vizards, they don't get a full body type ramification. So they're very different. They were originally Soul Reapers, and so they're basically human that died and went to the Soul Society and became Soul Reapers. Then they came back from there and are living as humans, which is weird. I know. They're a unique bunch. Some of them are formal captains even, and when they decide to use their hollow powers and become and get more power, which is when they need to defeat stronger opponents, they can, but they have a time restriction on it. But if they pass that time restriction, it can either weaken them immensely or it can kill them. So they have to be very careful on how they use these powers. It's not like the Espada that has unlimited time, basically, to use their powers. Now, Ichigo, he originally went to them to learn how to control his hollow inside him, so he can use that in his battles, because with that, he found out that he was a lot stronger when he had that mask on. So, then when he did it. So it was a good thing that they were around. So, in this picture, it shows the captains, the Vizards, and Ichigo on one side. It's pretty much Team Ichigo versus Team Aizen. And the captains are the ones in the white. That's how you can tell they're different from regular Soul Reapers, is from that jacket. Now this is showing just how much power the Espadas have when they change in the release form. Now Ninatori, he has a lot. His release gives him pretty much impenetrable defense. You can't inflict damage on this guy. And he can grow arms as many as he wants with weapons. It's crazy. So, the difference between the two, the Vizards, they have a limited time, but the Spotters can do it as long as they want. But the one difference is that um, the skills the Vizards have can stay with them no matter what, even when they don't. And this is the best battle, pretty much, of all of them for this arc, and it's also one of the sadder ones because it's more personable about what happens to each character.